Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the advanced character of our world around us, and this time we will have a general topic of discussion, but very important. I would like to try, maybe even more than try, I would like to answer one question to many people who are still having doubts about modern world and its situation, or are simply lost. Because very often people are asking themselves or their friends or family members or other people they trust, what's going on, who is a friend, who is an enemy. And in previous movies I was also mentioning this, explaining more in details, but this time I will just simply say it in a very simple word, as in a straightforward way. Nowadays we have a battlefield with two opponents. One is very numerous, very huge, very powerful, but at the same time this side is unaware of its power and unaware of options available. Uh, this side has to fight for its own rights and its own prosperity, its own future, for its own families, and so on and so on. I mean, people, nations, people, populations. This is this huge, powerful site, but in most cases, this site is lacking awareness of its own power and possibilities of action. This is the largest weakness of this site. Second site is tiny in terms of numbers, not so numerous, maybe 1%, not more. I mean, these are people who really have power. So, main politicians, CEOs of corporations, managers of corporations that are exchanging after some terms, some banksters, so people from finances, the upper ones, and some really rich people, owners of some corporations that, due to the fact that they were supported by many governments and were giving a lot of contracts, actually, only because one of the CEOs or the few of them knew proper people in government. That's why these companies became more and more powerful, like many companies producing one famous operating system whose name starts with W and so on. These people, together with the ones I mentioned, constitute this tiny, dangerous group called, by me, group of people who have power. And this is the only front line that it's really ongoing in this world. One can summarize it like this: people versus power, and there is no other front line. Of course, because they are not so numerous, because they know, these guys whom I mentioned who really have power, that they are really weak, and the only thing they can do to keep their power is to keep population in complete intellectual darkness, complete population confused, keep population confused, keep population arguing with each other, keep people divided, and keep people in fear. Last 2 years, a little bit more than 2 years, people were exposed to artificial fear that was supposedly caused by currently not so famous Chinese microbe. Now in many regions people are exposed to artificial fear connected with the conflict in Ukraine that actually started in 2014 but recently escalated a little bit, and many other things. Of course, economical crisis and so on and so on. So the main allies of these not so numerous people who have power are fear, stupidity, and laziness on the side of the components of their own main great opponent. I mean humanity, human populations. Because unfortunately, majority of people is characterized by laziness, driven by fear, and also driven by stupidity, because making conclusions, collecting facts, learning process is a painful thing. That's why not so many people do their homework and really know what's going on. I mentioned many times what to do. If a sufficient number of people, about 25-30%, will be aware of this, what's really happening, and aware of this, who is the real opponent of entire humanity. I mean, this tiny group of people, from main politicians to main banksters and some CEOs of great companies and some managers and so on. If we really locate our enemy, we will be in a, and we are aware of this in greater numbers, we will be able to pressure them and influence their decisions into our favor. This is how I see it, this is what we should do, and this is real line of division nowadays, real front line of every day and every night struggle. So, people versus power, people versus governments, defined in the way as I mentioned in this movie. All the best, have a nice day, bye.